Hi cuties. So recently I decided a few days ago to whip out and dust off that stank PS3 of mine so I can pop in an all-time classic Infamous 2. It was actually my first time playing it, and I am not gonna lie to y'all, I literally played the game non-stop all day until I beat that bitch. It got me thinking though, they just don't make them like they used to, huh gamers? Then I hopped on Twitter and boom, what do you know, it was actually the 15th year anniversary of the first Infamous, and boom, it clicked. The streets are yearning for another superhero game that isn't related to Marvel or DC for real. Today, I just wanted to take a trip down memory lane and talk about some of my favorite titles in this incredibly specific ass subgenre of gaming with y'all, so let's get stinky, shall we? Before we go too deep, let me lay some pre-qualifications of this list, okay? Number one, it can't be a primary DC or Marvel property, because like, I know Infamous had some sort of collab, but come on bro, shit don't count. Rule number two, I know certain games like BioShock, you technically get superpowers and shit, but it's just not the same swag as Infamous, like with the cool traversal, karma system, etc, etc. And as for the third, last qualifying factor, it just has to fit my narrative, because it's my video, and what Ripper says goes. Since I started talking about Infamous 2, let me give y'all a quick review from a stinky Gen Zer's perspective, because it was actually my first time playing the game in 2024. I love the no-nonsense approach of the open world. It's not littered with hella boring ass, oh save my cat from a tree ass side quests. There's not markers littered everywhere with boring activities, and there's not even fast travel. The traversal is just so fucking fun, dog. I will never forget that first time sliding on them damn train tracks, bruh. It goes without saying, the infamy system is awesome, and at the end of the game, the way they switched the karmic characters was absolutely genius. I love the comic strip cutscenes too, similar to like Max Payne 1 and 2 perhaps, and the writing is still just as funny in Infamous 2 as it was in 2000 Realm.
Demon, the demon of Empire City!
It's sad that these games are locked to the PS3 with no remaster in sight, but even playing it at 720p, like 20 FPS most of the time, it was still an unmatched gaming experience that transported me back to that magical 7th generation of gaming. I'm currently playing through Infamous Second Son right now, which released as a launch title for the PS4, and while I am enjoying it, I can smell the switch into the era of Sony exclusives nowadays with a heavy emphasis on storytelling and cutscenes, so I don't think I'll love it as much as I did Infamous 2. Sucker Punch has genuinely never fucking missed, y'all, and I considered even throwing Ghost of Tsushima on this list until I realized I'm a dumbass because Jin for the most part is just a regular ass motherfucker. Before Insomniac was completely converted into Marvelism in modern times, they whipped up special bangers like Ratchet & Stank, Spyro, and Sunset Overdrive. You want to talk about fun traversal, bruh? There is no better feeling than boosting off a damn power line and slamming your melee weapon onto the top of a car and then bouncing up in the air like it's a damn bouncy house. This game is just so damn fun, and playing it on Steam Deck at 60 FPS shows me that it 100% needs an upgrade to the current gen consoles, and even a port to the PS5. I was surprised to see that Microsoft actually allowed them to keep the rights to the property, so it's completely up to Insomniac or Sony to remaster / drop this game over there on the PS5. It's got the Ratchet & Clank-esque weapon diversity, including one that spits out vinyls as bullets, and just a super dumb fun story about an energy drink that turns people into brain-chomping zombies. At times, it's got some cringe 2014 era Reddit fedora poop humor, but besides that, it's actually aged super fucking well. I see no reason why they don't just 4K 60 this bitch and boom, drop it all over again. Easy $100 million profit. Sadly, it's locked at 30 FPS on the Xbox One port with no FPS boost on the series consoles. But there is a nice PC port for those interested. Please go play this shit right this instant, I command you. Now we can talk about an underrated, overhated at the time title that's in a similar vein as Sunset Overdrive. Saints Row 4, motherfuckers. I'm not entirely sure why this game was so hated on release, but I was there and I do remember certain diehards being upset that they pivoted from a GTA-esque gang-oriented game into a silly one. But at the end of the day, bro, they could never have actually competed with Rockstar in that sense, so I love the change personally. I bet those 4 people who hated on Saints Row 4 didn't realize that in comparison to the 2022 Saints Row title, this shit was GTA 7 quality, bitch. Anyways, for those who are unaware, in this game, you're playing as the boss of the Saints again, and they become such big global icons to the point where they take over the White House. But of course, the Earth gets raided by aliens who stick them in a simulation where there's powers galore. Yeah, that summary sounded fucking insane, but it is such a whimsical blast with that typical South Park-esque toilet humor and gameplay to match the hilarity with insane telekinetic attacks. And yeah, bro, Saints Row 4 did not deserve the hate it got. I actually think out of all the games on this list so far, this one might have the best traversal. You fly so fucking fast and jump so damn high in this game, there is literally 0 point in jacking cars like the series' previous titles. You just become Superman, dude. Granted, it is a shorter title as they expanded it from the original idea of it just being a DLC package, but this, and even Gat Out of Hell to an extent, is just perfect for this list and a must play in my correct Ripper eyes. I'll say it, bro, Gravity Rush is the most underrated, underutilized franchise the PlayStation has to offer. Whipping out that magical PlayStation Vita and experiencing this video game was such an ethereal experience for me. Those who know, but if you're unaware, let me break it down. You play as Kat, who has amnesia, and basically, she finds a magical cat that allows her to shift gravity, and you do this by tilting the Vita all over the place like a Mario Kart racing wheel. The combat is pretty simple. You just pop these Nebby bastards like a damn zit by gravity rushing into them or just straight up kicking their ass. Gravity Rush is also open world, and there's cool side activities that test your traversal skills with timers and such, and the narrative is written really well, which shouldn't be surprising seeing as how it's from the motherfuckers who cooked up Silent Hill. I mean, come on. The gameplay is just undeniably fun, and the same goes for the sequel on PlayStation 4. The first one got an eventual PS4 port as well, but there's rumors of some sort of Gravity Rush show or movie right now, which is kind of crazy because they literally dissolved Team Gravity, which used to be a subsidiary of Japan Studios. But hey, I don't care who makes it, we just need a Gravity Rush 3, bitch. Anyways, Gravity Rush 2 wasn't my favorite, and it takes quite a fucking while to actually get started in the city part of the game, but the graphical jump from Vita to this beauty of a son of a bitch was substantial, and overall, I think both games are just so damn slept on. So if you're looking for a cutesy poopsy game with a unique premise and a great open world, look no further than this series right here, dog. Prototype is a series that dropped the same damn year as Infamous, but this wasn't a PS3 exclusive. They actually dropped this game 2 weeks after Infamous 1, and Prototype did get a DC spin-off type thing, but we ignore that. Shh. Just like Gravity Rush, Alex Mercer, the protagonist, similarly suffers from amnesia, and you are this demon who is fighting against this infection called the Black Light Virus. The amount of powers you get in this game is crazy, and you can literally just consume other human beings to shapeshift, superhuman strength, speed, all that. Parkouring through Manhattan like this is still comparable to the modern Spider-Man games, argue with your mama. I'm not gonna lie though, I haven't played this bitch since like 2009, so that's all I got, but I do know that it holds up because I would never lie to y'all. They did drop a sequel, but I'm gonna be honest again, I kinda slept on it. What y'all think though? Is this one better? Tell me your thoughts. Now that Microsoft actually owns Activision, hopefully they can stick one of their hundreds of development teams on a Prototype 3 or maybe a remake, who knows? Okay, I saved the best for last, and I'm squeezing it in here because I think it counts. Remedy's very own Control. The game that really started to bring together the RCU, if you will, and the reason I'm iffy on including it is because the traversal aspect isn't too crazy, and I mean the setting is simply just a big ass building, but the overall narrative and environmental storytelling of Control shits on most video games. Jesse Faden is a badass protagonist whose mission is to investigate the Federal Bureau of Control, FBC, who studies AWEs, or Altered World Events, which is essentially just SCP Foundation shit, if you know what that is. A bunch of wacky acronyms, I'm aware, but I'm telling you, if you haven't played this game, you are missing out on the 2019 Game of the Year in my eyes, and a narrative journey unlike anything you ever played. Unless you checked out Alan Wake 2, bitch. Jessie literally shapeshifts her weapons, uses telekinesis, and mind controls her enemies, so she's a superhero in my books, damn it. As for the list, that's about it, my cuties. I left out some bangers like the Crackdown series. We can ignore the Terry Crews Crackdown 3 bullshit game debacle, but then I also thought about games like Viewtiful Joe. I think that that's mainly a 2D beat-em-up type experience though. Great shit nonetheless. The Wonderful 101 is another good example, whipped up by the yummy Platinum Games team who conjured the greatest game ever, Metal Gear Rising, bitch. But That's all I got for y'all, my cuties. I felt the need to reminisce on a time where it felt like we were being blessed regularly with beautiful superhero games that were incredibly unique and had downright amazing traversal elements. Hopefully these all get remastered or sequels, but it is 2024, the land of battle passes and live service slops. That's about it though, my yummies. Drop a Superman punch on the like button, maybe teleport to the subscribe, and I love you guys.
Bye.